Hi, so the problem I had is that these two curtain walls that are sloped, I had to adjust them to just push them out an inch, which slightly changes the angle of the curtain walls. And this is a problem because we already had elevation views made and detail view made and everything placed on the sheets. And it doesn't automatically, the views don't automatically adjust to stay perpendicular or orthogonal with the curtain wall when the curtain wall adjusts. And there's, as far as I know, no way to link those. So if the biggest, most noticeable issue is on the details, because there's a little bug where if the detail cut is not perpendicular, um, or doesn't have a perfectly orthogonal relationship to what's cutting through, these fine detail lines end up being flipped or otherwise don't display properly. And so I need to find a way to adjust the elevation and to adjust the detail views to make the relationship orthogonal again. So I figured out a way to do that here. So here, I will go into the elevation and create a reference line in the elevation view. So this reference line is, if I come back to plan view, I can look at it. This is basically a line that is perpendicular to the view of the elevation. I'm going to change the color of it to be red so we can keep track of it easier. And now I need to make a reference plane, and I know these two lines, I've already adjusted them to be the right angle that I need. So I make a reference plane in between them that's perpendicular. So this is the true perpendicular line, and then this is the perpendicular line from the view. So if I move this over here and zoom in, you can see there's just like the slightest, bittiest difference. And so if I select my elevation and hit rotate, I can place my rotation point here at this endpoint, and then select any point along this red line. And then I want to snap it to the endpoint of the green line, which is in the true perpendicular that I want. And it probably didn't do any. Let's see if it did anything. So now if I go into my elevation view and cut a new detail view, if it worked and it's now the truly orthogonal again, then my detail view will look good, and it does. So yay, solves the problem for the elevations, but I still don't want to have to remake all my details. So I'll go over to this elevation is where the detail cuts were originally made. So if I come into this detail cut, you'll see right now that it's all messed up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a reference line here, and then go back to my elevation. And I made this horizontal detail cut so I can view all the vertical detail cuts below. So here, you can see this is that reference line that I had made in this vertical cut detail. So I basically just need to repeat the same process, which is to create a reference line that's what I want to rotate this to be. So I'm gonna just snap to this line here, which is part of the curtain wall, and I know it's correct because I already adjusted it. I'll change this line to be red again just for clarity, and move it, snap it to the endpoint of this line, and then I've got to select my detail cut, hit the rotate button, place center of rotation, and yeah, literally just the same exact process we used for elevations. You just kind of have to be kind of tricky about figuring out how you're going to be able to access these views and create these reference lines. So now when I go into my detail, I can see it's good. Problem is solved. Of course, now basically all my section cut details that were on this elevation, I'm going to have to rotate and fix the same way, but it's still better than having to make all new detail cuts. And I get to keep all my annotations and everything like that. So, yep,